by the Lovable or any other AI tools. And right now we're gonna move to our Q&A session. And I will hand over mic to Bo.
Okay, thank you, Arthur and Natsume. This is really interesting topic. For Natsume, the presentation, I really like the gamification that you have passion for the game, and yeah, I like the quote like a delight as ritual. And also for Arthur, I feel like yeah, I like the way that you use ChatGPT for like arrive at the big picture first, and then use Lovable for like connect AI with the AI again, and then yeah, that's like playing around with the AI. Yeah. So yeah, I will. Okay, Lindsay share the screen already. Yeah. So maybe we can start with the question of the first one, the one that people vote the most, like how you understand quality of test for designer in the era of AI vibe coding, as the AI can generate application in 1 minute.
Yeah, I think I can start this question. Everyone good? Okay. Yeah. I think it's a very interesting and very tricky question, because taste, when we talk about like taste or like design trend, I think it's very subjective, because like for example, Apple, well, they have like a different taste every year on their iOS design, and maybe Google has different one, different product. They kind of started from using Apple or Google's design system, and later they've developed their own, or they completely not following that by creating their own design system. That actually happens for many products. But to be honest, I really like that, because I want to see different things. I want to see different design and different way of playing with things. I'm kind of worried about that AI is kind of like generalize some styles for people, so people kind of lose that kind of like sensibility to design taste. So yeah, so from a high level, I'm a little bit worried about that. However, as Arthur showed us, and how I personally use tools like Lovable, Cursor, and Figma Make, we could still play with like new styles by using AI tools, by providing reference, or because if we do graphic design or basic UI exercise, we will look for inspiration, and that's how we should work on AI tools too. So yeah, it still turns back to my original POV that we're still the driver, we're still the player of this game. I don't worry too much that we are being replaced by something that AI generated or something general, but I do worry about this trend.
Yeah, so I think this is a very fundamental understanding in the AI era, that your taste and the quality matters. So like think about the software you love to use, right? Notion or like other software. They are like, I strongly think that beautiful software, like nicely designed software, has massive like commercial value, because people love using it, so people will pay money for it. So like and it eventually lead to the company to be successful. So that to be said, like in the age of AI, where you can like generate applications in 1 minute, like there's going to be a lot of crappy applications here and there, right? Like because it's so easy for people to make software. So I feel like in that world, the only way to stand out is that you actually build something that you pour your heart into. Like you actually care about the details, you actually care about craft, you strive to craft every detail to make your user happy. That's the only way to stand out, like in the massive amount of applications exist in the AI age. So I think that's the core differentiator. And I think designers are really good at that, right? Designers is born to do that. So I generally think like AI is bullish for designers. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, Arthur and Nasume. And I think we can move on to the second question. I think this one is about like, how do you use AI to analyze both large qualitative and quantitative data to come up with a strong design assumption? I think this one Arthur already like demo some, but I believe this one may be about like, maybe some company have like a lot of large existing data. So yeah, so like, how do you like use AI to come up with that? Yeah.
Maybe I can start first for this one. Yeah. I don't think so. I think there's a false understanding, and some people build tools for that. Like AI can replace you to talk to customers, right? So there's like AI bot. I think I saw a few products that like people talk to your AI, and you look at what people talk to your AI about, and like you analyze that. I don't think that's the right mindset. I feel like it's still really important as a product person, both product designer and product manager, to actually talk to your users. So you have to talk to your users, like that's a must. But I think AI can help with that. Like there's tools like Dovetail. I don't know if you know Dovetail. Like there's tools like Gong or other software that you can, like, for example, you have a customer interview, and that tool can help you summarize your interview in a very intuitive way. And I think as AI gets better, like their summarization will get better. There's a tool called Granola. I love it because it allows me to like take notes, and like and AI will magically generate the summaries based on the notes, the crappy notes you've taken down. So I feel like there's definitely a few tools that makes it really easy to collect the qualitative part of the feedback and quantitative as well, because like think about the AI big data platforms. Like I think there's going to be tools for that as well. So I think it helps, but still, like I don't think AI will change the fact that you need to talk to your customers. Yep, that's it.
Yeah, I completely agree with Arthur on how we, if we are doing like user research, if we are conducting these like research to prepare for our product direction, AI is an extremely powerful tool, and we should definitely utilize that. One thing I really want to add here is I always use an example when my product manager who recently left, but I'm mostly driving. But so she always worry about like if our assumption is is correct, or if we are doing the right way. And I will always say that okay, now we know we want to open the restaurant, right? It's different from like we have some money and we don't know what industry we are investing. If we know we are going to open a restaurant, like for example, like a Chinese restaurant, then you should already have some assumption and you need and some hypothesis. And our job for doing the user testing or user research is always focusing on validating these hypotheses. So that means if we really want to make some product, or you're really interested in that area, just go for it. Don't care too much about the customer feedback or business metrics, because that's something you need to validate later when you really get into that. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah. And maybe the next question, what are the ethical considerations you have with using AI, like environmental degradation, nonsense? Oh, sorry, I didn't say. Okay, maybe we can go for this one. Under which case you will still recommend to use Figma mainly rather than leveraging those AI tools?
Yeah, so I don't think Figma will go away, to be honest. Like I think a huge portion of our design work still relies on Figma, and I think Figma is useful for collaboration, driving alignment, right? You have those Figma comments, like people can poke on your design to leave comments on like certain parts of the design. So I think like the core competitive the core competence for Figma is like quickly come up with designs, like, and not quickly, sorry, thoroughly come up with designs and let people collaborate with you to like go back and forth on certain design decisions. So I think that's the purpose of Figma. And also, like, there are certain cases where it's actually taking more time to write the code than like using your design system to put something together. So I think it's a sensible judgment on what you're working on. Like, there are just some design files, like 0 to 1 projects, design projects. I think Figma is not the right tool to get started. Like, for example, the one I just showed is much better to use Lovable in the beginning. But like, think about when I reach the end, like I need to produce some high fidelity design for that concept. Obviously, I won't be coding it, because coding it, I need to code all the edge cases. Seriously, like that's the job of front-end engineer, right? So I will probably prefer like using Figma to design those edge cases and those detailed interactions. So I feel like Figma is not going away. It's just that certain parts of the design process that we previously used Figma can be replaced by better tools. So that's my take on it.
Yeah, I think for the use case of like AI or design process, at the end of the day, I would say Figma is a tool. It helps you on some part of your process, and depends on how you see it. And as Arthur said, it's still a very powerful tool for collaboration. You know, I also have side job working on like editorial and graphic design, and Figma is always my favorite platform, showcasing how it looks like to collaborators and stakeholders. So and some of the job we are doing, I don't think everything could be, you know, powered by AI. So at that very human and very collaborative part, I would still recommend using Figma.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I agree. I feel like sometimes it depends on the design goal. Like you can start with anything that match your goal, right? But then Figma, it just sound like still like a foundation that designer can come back to see the overview or something. Okay, let's move on to next one. I think this one, most AI integration has been adopting Schedule AI. What do you think we start in our conversational? Like, sorry, I can't pronounce that word.
Paradigm. Yeah, that's a really great question, and I have been asking myself as well. I don't know if you listen to a podcast called Lenny's Podcast. So it's a really good product and design. I think it's more product podcast. So there was one episode where the host was interviewing the VP of product at OpenAI, and well, everyone hates chat. I think like a lot of people hate chat. Like, you have to type the word; it's so annoying. But the VP of product at OpenAI actually likes the chat interface. Like, the reason he gives is that chat is the most direct way of communicating your idea. Like, think about like real life. In real life, how do you convey your idea to another person? Like, treat AI as another person. You tell the person, you text the person, you talk to the person, right? So in that sense, he's thinking that chat interface is not as bad as people think. But I think I'm not saying that I fully agree with him, but I think he has some point. And I think in the future, there will be new paradigm emerge. For example, like if you want AI to book a hotel for you and like figure out the best travel plan to Kyoto for you and like put it into Notion and stuff, probably chat is not the right interface to express that complicated intention, right? So I'm pretty sure there's going to be, as like we build agentic tools, I think there are a lot of companies that's already exploring different paradigms, like workflow paradigms. Like, you have these blocks, you connect them together, or you use other, like, I think there will be new paradigm, but I don't think chat will go away. There are still some cases that chat is the best form of communication. But yeah, that's my take. There will be new paradigm.
Yeah, so from my observation, starting from the end of 2022, I've been noticing a lot of, you know, existing products, they upgraded to be like an AI version. And what you see is they are adding a chatbot, like a chatbot UI somewhere in their interface. And to be honest, I was done with that. I don't think they optimize their product with the AI in a good way. Even for Duolingo Max, we kind of started from like a scrappy explain my answer, and you can chat with the Duo like in a way, and listening to his explanation on why you made a mistake, and explaining the grammar or like syntax stuff. And later, I think as the product keep iterating, the company or majority of the industry doesn't think the chat UI is a good use case of AI for different products. So for example, Duolingo started shifting from those direction and making more fun experience, like you can video call Lily, and I don't think that's a chat UI, but you kind of still using the same interaction. You talk to Lily, AI powered for sure. She has a personality, and it's just more fun. But it's just moving away from that chat UI. So as many of our daily use tools they keep iterating, I think we will eventually more natural, more user-centered, not stuck in this like conversational paradigm. That's my opinion.
Thank you so much. Oh, sorry. Yeah, the next question is to be clear, the output from Cursor and Lovable will not be used by the dev, right?
No, they are not production tool. I think that's the constraint we have here, because in a large company, there's like so much complication in actually shipping the complicated tools. But there are I think this is like two parts. So at Intercom, at least, we do two things with Cursor, specifically Cursor. So there's one thing that we prototype with it, which the devs will not use the output. But there's one thing like, okay, this model, the font is wrong. The color is wrong. The button should use primary button over secondary button. So it's a really minor UI stuff. Like there's UI bugs sometimes, like because the front end didn't implement it correctly. So for the really granular small UI fixes, we ship to the code. We ship to the production. Like that's the other use case, which is like polishing the edges of your software. And that's not complicated, like thinking about changing. It's just like change a line of CSS. It's not complicated at all. So yeah, I think this, I think this also answered the other question where like, how does your team design the new process governance when designer can access code base? So it's not like you change the code and it's going to go straight into production. There's still like, you still have to submit a PR request on GitHub. So like some developers need to approve your request. So you don't have to worry about fuck up your code base like with your changes. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is that like we have a really strict cursor rule for designers that you like there's a section where you can set cursor rules within Cursor. So there's like predefined set of rules for designers using Cursor. So Cursor will follow these rules when interacting with designers to make sure nothing bad happens. And like when you submit your design changes, you need to actually write very detailed like PR. Why are we making these changes? And like the engineer needs to look into what you actually wrote to make sure you're not like changing something you're not supposed to change. So I think that's the system behind it. And I don't think it's as dangerous as people think. Like designers touching code base, it's not that so dangerous. No, I don't think it's dangerous. Yeah.
Yeah, from my experience at Neo, I'm the only designer and the design like person who is in charge of that. I work closely with developers, and by using these AI generated codes, actually my observation is that our engineering leader told me, oh, this looks amazing, and it actually streamlined our process in a good way. Although we are not like completely, importing what AI generated from the code base and imported things, but it's great reference for engineers to streamline their process too. Yeah.
Thank you. I think we may run out of time in a bit, so maybe we can have one more question. Lindsay, you can pick one question for. Okay. Maybe this one. How do you get, or is there any question that Arthur and Nasumi want to answer in this screen?
As a digital art teacher, that one.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't necessarily think you need to, prepare, like have your students prepared for an AI-driven visual design thing, because I think that's at the end of the day, from my opinion, AI is a tool. You could, make good use of it, but from the education perspective, I would expect more, the thinking of behind these use, and AI is just a tool, and they can use that for exploration, for brainstorming. But I'm a very traditional graphic design person. I would still expect seeing handcrafted visual things. Even it's from AI, it should be well considered from you as a designer, as a human.
Yeah, 100%. I totally agree with Natsume. I think in school, you should teach the fundamental parts of the design, like how to, because tools change all the time, right? Like AI, you learn a few AI tools right now. You learn Lovable Cursor, and in like 1 year or 2 years, they may not be relevant. So I feel like it's the core mindset of design, like what design is about. It's actually about solving problem, understanding people's problem, like have the craftsmanship of like curating really nice solutions for those problems that people feel delighted to use. So I feel like the mindset, the part of things, the thought process of design is something that's important to be taught in school. And because companies, like they like, I think people won't have as much of a freedom to learn that in companies, because they expect you to come in and like jump into projects and like learn how to do the projects well and like earn money for the company. But in school, there's no such expectations. So it's a place where I feel really grateful that I get to learn all those very out of box, like non-work related designs in school. I think that helped me to be a better designer, like not only like at work, but also in general. Like, yeah.
Thank you so much, Arthur and Nasumi. Okay, I think maybe that's it for the Q&A session. I will hand this to Lindsay.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Arthur and Latme. This is such a great session. And for me, I actually asked some question inside it, and I really appreciate your answer. It was so insightful compared how we actually did the design here in Japan. I think everyone got a lot of motivation and also can see how we can leverage AI, but still keeps the core, the design thinking, the product sense. So I will end up the session soon. If nobody has no question, we will see you next time. And please, everyone, please give the round. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you.
Let's give a lot of round of applause